Right, I forgot about the ad. Hold on. Let me run that before I get into the intro. Hold on. Alright, we're here. Now we will, for a brief moment, imagine a world in which I did not flub the intro. Anyway, or rather, I guess I didn't do anything wrong, but I did forget about the ad. Anyway, so, hello. I have arrived. Artist, archivist, future man, and tonight, alchemist. You can call me Tiberius Vanderfield. Hello. So yes, tonight, Atelier Yumia even. Yes, we're a little bit, we're exactly on time, basically, for the usual Thursday and Friday time. But we are starting a little bit later than I was hoping for, because I had some issues with my, I was having some issues with my controller. And I wasn't able to determine what exactly was causing it, because it seemed like the game was registering that I had a controller connected, but it wasn't doing anything. Like, I could press buttons on the controller and whatnot, and the button prompts that would show up would be the controller button prompts instead of the, mouse and keyboard button prompts, but it still wouldn't let me use the controller for anything. So I have no idea how to fix that problem, but I restarted the program and now it's working properly, so... Anyway, let's see. Schedule. So yes, tonight, Atelier Yumia. Tomorrow, Atelier Yumia. And then on Saturday, we should be seeing some more Arc Nights. Yes. So I do have... I do have some business to take care of on Friday, which could potentially delay the stream. I'm not sure by how much. But yes, I don't anticipate a tremendous amount of time being spent on this, but it could be any amount of time, basically. But yes, yeah, I don't know how involved it will be, basically. I have an idea of what I'm going to be doing, but I don't know the full extent of it. Anyway, beyond that, I will also have some business on Saturday. That should be wrapped up well before stream time, though, so that shouldn't lead to any disruptions. But yes, anyway, one way or the other, it seems unlikely that we're going to hit the 9 o'clock target for tomorrow, one way or the other, but 9:30 could still very well be possible. And again, if things are quicker than I expect, then 9 could still happen. But yes, anyway, so that is the Friday stream, and then for the Saturday stream, that should be at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Yes, so, with that then, I suppose we're ready to get into things. Atelier Yumia, the Alchemist of Memories, and the Envisioned Land. But yes, so, last time we sort of meandered around mostly aimlessly. I had ideas to continue the legendary difficulty. Right, so there was another update recently, and they put out some higher difficulties. We did pop up to one difficulty notch above the normal difficulty, but I don't anticipate going much above that. Yes, additional difficulty patch, building expansion update. I know that there are some more things that you can build for... Quite a few more things you can build, it would seem. Yes. Quite a few more things, indeed. Wow. Anyway. So yes, we're not going to worry too much about that. But yeah, last time I did a little bit of pioneering effort work, and in unlocking some higher levels of the pioneering effort, we actually got a lot more progress in it, just due to having done a lot of these tasks in the process of meandering about aimlessly, as is my usual wont. But yes, anyway, beyond that, yeah, one thing that did stick out to me is that we did unlock shop trading, which I don't know what this means, but I'm curious to find out. Yes. Implicitly, it is some sort of business in which you can purchase goods and or services. but I don't know where I would go for it, and I don't know what I would get from it. And there's nothing on the map that really screams a shop to me. Yeah, I do want to look into that a little bit. And I guess it's not guaranteed that it's in this area specifically. Yeah, I do want to look into that a little bit, but beyond that, I think that we're going to start moving closer to our next goal. Yeah, another thing that I've been thinking about, that I talked about a little bit last time, is switching up our gear somewhat. Because yeah, as I mentioned, I feel like, I don't know, previously when we were on normal difficulty, I felt the game was a little bit too easy. And I was wondering if the wrist weights we were using, because these increase your XP gains, I was wondering if that might have something to do with it. But yeah, I don't know how extreme this increase is. Okay, 3%, maybe not very significant actually. Okay, so probably it's not that. Probably it's just that normal is somewhat easy. But yes, anyway, we went up one difficulty level, and things have been a little bit more difficult, if you can believe it. But yeah, so I'm thinking we might also want to get some more gear. Maybe get another accessory, maybe get some slightly better armor and whatnot. But yeah, we'll see how things treat us if I feel that that's really necessary. But yeah. Now, I don't... It's possible that we might need to talk to this individual whose name I've forgotten. Erhard. Okay, that's... Okay, we've got a greenhouse now. So this is not, this doesn't tell me anything about the shop. Okay, selecting and placing a greenhouse on the base construction screen will allow you to reproduce ingredients. Accessing the greenhouse and registering an ingredient will start the reproduction process. The time required to duplicate an ingredient varies depending on the kind of ingredient registered and its rank. Inserting neutral particles will shorten duplication time. If the time drops below 0, the item will be duplicated immediately. Alright, we might have found something else that will... Looks like we've just unlocked some more pioneering goals as well. Okay, I don't think we've unlocked another tier, though. That's good. So, is there anything you can tell me about the shop, maybe? At all? It would seem not. So, we have another thing to distract me now. Now I'm curious if... I'm curious what you can get out of, Can I get up on that? I feel like I probably can't, but... Well, there's an interaction prompt up there, so probably I can. Not like that, though. Here we are. Well, almost. Alright. I was just talking about how I don't want to get distracted. Okay, so this just gives me eggs. Okay. So, once again. I want to figure out where to go for the shop. Do you have anything to say about the shop? No. Yeah. I'm assuming that it's just a place where you can buy some supplies. That is not uncommon in these games. But, I got briefly distracted by the quest prompt over there, or the quest tracker over there. Ah, this is... Oh, okay. So yes. Yes, we've seen these before. Whoops. We've seen cats before, also. Yes, I do appreciate your presence, Cat, but I also would like to engage in some mercantile. So yeah, so... I don't know if we actually have any need for any of these or any desire for them, so I'm not going to worry about it right now. So yeah, so I'm assuming that that is the shop. So I guess that explains why we didn't get too much of a rundown on it. It's fairly straightforward. Anyway, with that established now, I'm curious about the greenhouse. Because it didn't specify, and perhaps it's implicit, but it didn't specify that the greenhouse only grew, say, plant ingredients. So I'm wondering if there is a specific limit. Yeah, specific limit to what it can grow. Okay, so yes, warehouse, greenhouse, here we are. Yes, so we have a greenhouse now. I wonder if this will be able to... Whoops. Let's see. Whoops. Hold on. It hasn't been that long, but apparently I've forgotten a lot of the controls here. Alright. So I wonder if this... Oh, can we just... Okay, we can just move this plant. Interesting. Can we store this plant? Maybe. Okay, greenhouse. There we are. Yeah, so it looks like this area might not be big enough, which makes sense. Greenhouses are fairly large. But yeah, I don't think there's any more building space around the atelier. And it seems unlikely that I would be able to place it inside the atelier. So yes. So, with that, let's go somewhere else. I suppose, this place is as good as any. I believe this is the area that I mistook for a greenhouse earlier. Right. Yes. So, what better place to build a greenhouse than the place that I thought was a greenhouse? Oops. Alright. Building. Open list. Greenhouse. Or not. Alright, so it seems that there's something else at play here. Let's see. Ah, is this? Oh, okay. So it seems like this is just a type of building, or like a type of something that you have to build from the catalog, maybe. This definitely looks like something that I could just place, this greenhouse. Alright, so we have a greenhouse down now. And the greenhouse definitely doesn't look so large that I couldn't place it elsewhere. I'm curious. Okay, so the greenhouse did get used there. But maybe you can't place them normally. Okay, so yeah, so it is as I suspected. You can apparently just put in whatever you see fit, which is fun. I don't know if there's anything in here that we particularly care to keep around or to have any particularly large quantity of. But I like the idea of putting a piece of animal hide in a greenhouse and having it propagate. So why not do that? So yes, so we'll just let that run, I suppose. And then this is something. I don't know if this is anything of consequence, but it's certainly something. It's a nice little structure, I like it. I don't know if it has a specific purpose, but it looks pretty. And that's all you need sometimes. So yeah, I do wonder... Oops. I do wonder if we were to go... Actually, I think if we do this, this would probably reset the... This would probably get rid of the green... Oh no, hold on. So So yeah, so that would get rid of the greenhouse that we already have. I wonder. I don't know. It feels strange to think that, well, okay. The ability to recreate alchemy ingredients, and at a reasonable pace, I would assume. It seems like, because yeah, the time required says 10, I assume that means minutes. If so, that's pretty quick. Oh. Hold on, we just got like 7 animal hides, and it definitely hasn't been 10 minutes. So maybe that is seconds. Yeah, it looks like that's seconds. So yeah, we can actually create new items very quickly. So I suppose that, yeah, I suppose that makes sense why they might have some restrictions on how you can place the greenhouse. Yeah, I was just about to say that it seems unlikely that they would be too restrictive on it. But yeah, that gives us hide very quickly, in fact. I wonder if I suppose if we're going to have a greenhouse here, we should probably also have some storage here. Yeah, I was gonna say, it seems odd that they would sort of arbitrarily yeah, these do seem to be the exact same hide that we had before. So all of the qualities of them are also replicated. So that's good if we find something with especially desirable qualities. But yeah, anyway. So yes, given that the greenhouse seems to produce new materials at a pretty rapid rate, I suppose it does make sense that there would be some limits to how you can place them and how many you can place in a given area. I wonder if we missed a tutorial prompt or something, because I feel like they didn't explain the greenhouse very well. Well, no, they told us what it does, but I guess they didn't tell us too much about it. They didn't tell us if it had any restrictions on being placed. Yeah. Well, if nothing else, we've established that we seemingly can't just put them down. But it's not that the areas that we were trying to put them down were simply not acceptable for a greenhouse, because we did get one there. So with that established, it seems that the most likely explanation is just that there is some sort of limit to a creature. Yeah, there is some sort of limit to regular ammo. There we are. Yeah, there is some sort of limit to how you can place them. Yeah, that might be something I need to look into as well. Yeah, I feel like we've been by this way before, but I did not notice these ruins at all. Oh, it seems something may have noticed us. Oh, someone, perhaps. Ah, yes. I think... Hold on. Is this a person we've seen before? He seems familiar. I feel like I've forgotten, like, everything about the game. It hasn't even been that long, really. Interesting interaction here. Okay, I'm glad everyone else is as confused as I am. Oh, and so yes, my theory from last time that the bandana is part of the uniform seems to be true. Alright, Ruthger. So we've been beaten to the chase then.
先を越されたってことですかね。
Yes, it does seem that our target of
調査
exploration
団は
has
ただ
been
のレリックハン
explored.
ターじゃないんだ。早い者勝ちというわけでもないんだな。
Fair enough, I suppose, but we could have saved ourselves the trip if we knew he was
私た
here.
ち団長の指示で来たんだよね。行き違いかな。
ともかく独自に僕らも調べてみるしかないな。
Might as well, I suppose. But yes. So, I suppose in other Atelier-related news, we've had issues with the frame rate before.
何か面白い
Had
も
some
のが見
issues
つか
with
る
the
といい
frame
んだ
rate
けど。
on the capture.
それよりも敵を警戒した方が。
Yes. We don't seem to be having any significant issues now. Again, I spent a lot of time messing with it previously. I tried different settings on the game. I tried unplugging and replugging in the capture card, basically. But yeah. At one point, things just sort of started working properly. And I wasn't able to determine if anything that I did specifically was the cause for that.
が積もってないってことは、さっきの人が持って行ったのかも。
Yeah, so it appeared that Rutger cleaned off the shelf as well. There do seem to be things here for them having said that there's nothing here. I suppose she means nothing interesting, perhaps. But there are
ま
plants.
た採取できるように、取るときは根を残
And
す
we
ようにしない
always
と。
love picking flowers and various other bits of plant
こ
material.
の辺り、何かありそう。ちょっと見てみよう。
Alright. More here to explore.
あれ？今この辺りに。
Something, apparently.
これは。なんだ、ただのコインか。
Hmm.
売れたりするのかもだけど、私はいらないな。
Well, it's something at least. You know, we're here to learn more about this ancient civilization, so
まだまだ。
learning more about their currency probably wouldn't go awry. Let's see, we can get further up. I don't know that we necessarily need to, but we can.
よっと。見つけた。
Ooh, that's something up there. Let's see, what is that?
そこ。
Not quite sure. Might be a little bit too far away to hit it. Oh well.
罠じゃありませんように。
Oh. Alright.
フラミーのような
Let's
超
not
高
get
性能
lost
自
here
律
in
型
the
探
weeds,
索補助
literally
装
or
置も
figuratively.
アラディスには存在したのでしょうか。
当時は今よりもすごか
Ah,
った
there
だ
is
ろう
something
か
to
ら。
explore up here.
超高性。
Ah, and there was a vial over there too.
散らかってるな。古い建物だし仕方ないんだろうけど。見た感じ、めぼしいものは残ってないみたい。
Hmm. Yeah. Oh, I was going to talk a little bit more about some things that I did, but it seems that they're going to talk about things that they did.
ここは一度拠点に戻るべきだろう。
私もう少しだけ探してみます。二人は近くで休んでてください。
Hmm. Something about the way that Yumia said that feels a little bit off to me.
ね
Like she knows
え、一つ
something.
聞かせてほしいんだけど、ユミヤはさ、どうして錬金術師になろうと思ったの？
At least suspect something, perhaps.
ユミヤもそう教わってきたんだよね。
I'm sure nobody knows that Alchemist
お
do
母さ
better
んが
than she
錬金
does.
術師だったのは知ってるよ。でも、どうして禁忌を犯してまでお母さんと同じ道を進もうと思ったの？
同じ道を進もうと思った理由。
私たちこれからしばらく一緒に行動するでしょ。なのにユミヤのこと全然知
Yeah,
ら
we
ないなっ
haven't
て
learned a whole
思っ
lot
て。
about Yumia. Most of the things that I know about Yumia are
私も
largely conjecture.
いつか話したいって思ってたんだけど、聞いてくれてありがとう。ここで話すのもあれですし、場所を変えませんか？
Seems like a pretty nice place to chat to me. Anyway,
長時間
I
の
do want
探
to
索
see a
は
little bit
思
more
わ
of
ぬ
what
ミ
was
スに
up
つながり
on
ます。
top there.
定期的に拠点へ帰
There were
還することを
plants
推奨し
and
ます。
possibly treasure. But yes, anyway. So I've messed around with my settings a little bit. I don't know if I returned them to more or less what they were previously, so things might look a little
高
bit
濃度
different.
マナ領域
I
の
feel like
脱
they
出を
look a
確
little
認。
bit different at the very least.
随分かかりましたね。
これで
Right,
砕
we need
く。
to activate that.
原石って意外と見つかりにくいから貴重品なんだ。
Yes, can't
集
forget
落の
the
素
memory
材として
vial,
使えそうなものがあればいいんだ。
nor the parts.
そんな重そうなの見つけても持って帰れないって。
私のポーチの中
So
見る？
Oh,
調
a
査記
puzzle.
録の充実はフラミーの重要な仕事です。
Not a terribly complex puzzle, but a puzzle nonetheless. Alright, now we apparently need to talk to both of them. Who are they? I suppose we'll learn.
何が入ってるのかな？
Alright, treasure trove key, nice. Alright, so, with that then, this place seems to be bereft of anything further, so... no, I was going to say, is that a shrine? But no, that's just a fruit. But, you know how we feel about fruit. Alright, so that's all well and good. I suppose we probably ought to be going back to where... Oh no, okay. So we don't need to travel anywhere. At least, we don't need to fast travel anywhere. We simply need to travel with our own 2 feet. Ah, hold on.
直撃。
Alright, good thing that we did do a little bit more
マナエナジ
exploring.
ー補充完了。
Is this? Ah, there
こ
we
れ
go.
で砕く。
I wasn't sure why we didn't have the prompt for that. Is this? Yes, okay.
せーの。
Almost seems like certain angles don't work so well, but maybe it has something to do with the fact that the ground's uneven. Alright, so... I've never had a firm grasp on the lockpicking minigame, but I suppose it's just you have to match up as many lines as possible. You need to maximize the amount of lines that you have in line, so to speak. Yeah. Because it always sort of felt like there maybe should be more to it, but probably I'm just overthinking. At the very least, I've not had a negative result from it at any point, doing just that, so... Alright. So, both of them. I assume at this point that it's Isla and Victor, probably.
私が錬金術師になったのは母の真意を知りたかったからなんです。
True intentions. That sounds interesting.
私の家は道具屋でした。私と父は一緒にお店番、道具を作るのが母の仕事。父が亡くなってからは2人でお店を切り盛りしてきました。母が作る道具はたまに変なのもあったけど、
That does look a bit like an odd tool. Oh no, that looks like Flammy, actually.
私も大好きだった。商品で遊ぶなってよく叱られてたっけ？
I don't think Flammy would appreciate it
錬
if I
金術なん
referred
て
to
言葉、
them
話題に上がっ
as
た
a
こともな
tool.
かったです。
Or as strange, perhaps.
あのマナ災害が起こるまでは。
それがデューラーリョ。
はい。町のあちこちからマナが溢れてきて、 うちのお店も爆発で壊れちゃって、思い返せばあの時はアラディスと同じように高濃度マナが拡大している状況にありました。わけも分からず避難してきて呆然としている時、事故の状況を見ていた母が言ったんです。私にはみんなを助ける力があるって。母は私を強く抱きしめた後、マナ領域の中に飛び込んでいって、それ以降どれだけ待っても母は帰ってきませんでした。広がっていたマナ領域が消えた後、現場から母が連れていたこの子だけが見つかりました。
Interesting.
ひどく壊れてて、仕組みも何もわからなかったけど、どうにか今の状態まで復元できました。そしてフラミーが教えてくれたんです。私と別れた後、母がマナ領域を解消したこと、
So she was successful in her efforts.
錬金術のことを。生きてるのか死んでるのかもわからない状態で、言われるままに災害の自己処理を進めてた頃、団長エアハルトさんが私のところに来たんです。簡単に言うと、お前の母親イリーネ・リースフェルトは錬金術師だった。母と同じ素養を持つお前ならアラディスの高濃度マナ領域を解消できるはず。調査団はその力を求めているってな感じでした。
Very interesting.
それで今ここに。
I suppose that
私は
raises
知
the
りたいんです。
question.
本当のこ
That
と、
raises the question of
この
whether
大陸で何が起こったのか、
what
錬
exactly
金術
happened
が
with
どうして
Yumia's
禁忌と
mother.
されているのか。母は禁忌を破った悪人だったのか。
Because we don't have any reason to believe that
その答え
she.
が
I mean, we
こ
have.
こにあるはずなんです。
I feel like it's sort of implied that she's
君の
dead,
母親が
but I feel like it's implied in a way
じ
that
ゃあもしかして私たちが助かった
seems to
そ
intentionally
っか、私たち
leave open the
こんな
possibility
ことも
that
知らなかったんだ。
she is alive somewhere.
アイラ、
だってそれってユミヤのお母さんは私たちにとっての恩人かもってことでしょ。
Yes. From the way that Isla just
私たち
described
にと
that,
っ
it
ても
definitely
す
seems
ご
like
く大事
she
なことじゃん。
potentially met Irene as
アイ
well.
ラ、
ユミヤはお母さんのことを大事にしてるんだね。
錬金術師だって聞いて最初は驚いたけど、ずっと私の目標だった。
僕は君の母がしたことを直に見たわけじゃない。まだ何が正しいのか測りかねている自分もいる。
はい。
だがそうだな、以前君が言っていた通り、調査団の目的は真実を解き明かすことだ。わからないことを知る。僕らはそのためにここに来たんだ。
そう言ってもらえただけでも嬉しいです。
ねえユミヤ、もっといろいろ教えてよ。趣味とか好きな食べ物とか。
Alright, we gotta fill out
なんで今？
an application to be Isla's
ち
friend.
ょっとした好みだってその人を知る材料でしょ。もっとそういう話した方がいいって私たち。
なんか改めて言われるとはずいっていうか、また今度ね、今度。
Yes, given the
自
parts
分
that
で
we
知らなきゃ
saw,
どうとか言ってたくせに。
it seems like the mana disaster perhaps wasn't as far back as I'd been assuming it was. Because, yeah, she definitely looked pretty similar to her itself in the most recent image. And I would assume that the research team probably hasn't been, active for that long. I suppose Erhard could have recruited Yumia a fairly long time ago.
うるさい。人に喋らないこと喋ってちょっと変な感じがしただけ。飲みやすさを考えて作る工程が
I didn't just
一番
skip some
難しい
important
っていう。
dialogue there, but anyway, I saw some fruit over here, or something that looked like fruit. More specifically, it looked like I thought it was a fruit that we hadn't seen before. I was curious. Because yeah, it looked a little bit like these berries, but it looked more blue. I don't know. I might have just mistaken something. Perhaps even the rocks. Anyway. As we were, I suppose. Well, let's get into it. It's been a little while. Oh, actually, right. Anyway. Not bad. Yes, not bad. Right. So we should probably go. Where are we going? Okay, this way.
目的
Probably
地を
we
選んで
don't
ください。
necessarily need to walk. Yep. Okay.
ここで決まり？
Not that
い
far
ろいろ見て
anyway.
回ろう。
But yes, I feel like
のを取ればいいの？
I suspect that we might see a little bit more from Irene later on in the story.
何これ。
I get the feeling that her story did not end there.
ルートが何度も言わせるな。いい加減に組織の一員として自覚を持ってくれ。
I feel like we've seen Rutger before, like before this
成果
stream.
も十分出してる。どこに問題がある？
そういう問題じゃない。今までは一人でもやってこられたんだろうが。
Something about him looks familiar.
エアハルトさん、戻りましたけど。
さっきの。
君が一人であそこに残された遺物を回収してしまったのか。
おいおい、手柄を横取りされたとでも？同じ調査団で横取りも何もないだろう。
Now you say that we're on the same team, but you don't seem super
そういう
cooperative.
ことじゃない。一人は君にとっても
I
危
suppose
険
he's
では
not necessarily making problems for us per se, but
ああ、すまん。紹介がまだだったな。こいつはルトが。昔から俺が面倒を見てる。一応経験豊富な冒険者なんだが、見ての通り、ちょっと気難しいところがあってな。お前たちには余計な手間を取らせちまった。
well, it's all
別に
fine.
気にしてないで
We
す。
had a little heart
み
to
んな
heart
無事なら
anyway.
それでよしってことで。
いや、この大陸で軽率に動く危険性をこいつにはもっとよく説明しておくべきだった。戻ってきて早々すまないが、ユミヤ、ルトガーが持ち帰ってきた遺物の中に伝送機があったんだ。
There was also a memory vial among the things that we found.
そいつの中身を調べてくれないか。
Yes, I imagine this one is probably more
もちろんです。
plot significant
今
though,
はど
given
こ
that
に？
it's being talked about in a cutscene.
遺物は管理担当のところに預けてある。一緒に来てくれ。ほら、ルトガーも。
なんで俺も。
Alright. Tell me more about this
さっ
mysterious
き
memory
ルトガーが
vial.
持ってきたあれ、見せてくれるか。
はい、団長。
確かに旧文明の伝送機みたいですね。やっぱり先を越されてたんだ。
Now, what secrets will this marvelous memory vial hold?
なんだこれ。価値はありそうだったが使い道がわからん。
Of course you don't. You're not an alchemist.
私はわかりますけど。
一般人には分からなくとも当然です。
An interesting face on Yumia there.
へえ。
さて、どんな情報が入っているのかな。
Now we will learn. Here are the secrets.
どうやら中には錬金術師たちの技術研究資料が記録されているようです。
Okay.
我々はこの地に根を下ろす。だが追い求める真理は変わらない。
Seems like something that's
せめて後世に生きる錬金術師のためにこの研究資料を残す。など
whether
と
or not I
記されて
will
います。
remains to be seen, but this definitely seems like something I should remember.
なるほど。この資料を詳しく見てみたいです。この伝送機借りていってもいいですか？
I wonder if this will give us anything new.
ああ、構わないぞ。
錬金術師ってよくわからん道具を使うんだな。
Now we will see how Flammy
フラ
responds
ミ
to
ー
being
は
told
よ
that.
くわからん道具ではな
As I
く
suspected,
超高性
they
能
do
自
not
立
like
型
it.
探索補助装置です。
なんだこいつ。面白いな。俺たち隊員にも貸してくれよ。
Build your own.
無理です。この子は代わりが利かないし。
Yes, this is a very important,
んだよ。
very important,
同じ調査団だろ。
very important to us.
そんなこと言われても。
申し訳ありません。完璧な探索補助装置にも増殖機能は存在しません。
なら、いっそのこと一緒に行動すればいいんじゃねえか。
I wonder if Rootger is going to be added to our team
それ
then.
なら伝送機も
That
一緒
could
に調べ
explain
ら
why
れ
I've
る。
seen him. I
こ
have
の方が
seen
調査の効率も上がる。
images of sort of the whole party at various points.
さっきも言った通り、そういう話ならお断りだ。
あのな、
なんだよ。俺は俺の好きなように。
ルトがちょっとこっちへ来い。
Uh-oh.
あ？なんだ？おい、おい、引っ張るな。聞いてんのか？
It seems that Rootger is in trouble. Aye.
みんなもルトガーのことよろしく頼むな。
ああ、まあ、
Are we sure that everything's sort of on the up and up here, I wonder?
なんか私が言うのも変ですけど、本当に大丈夫なんですか？
大丈夫だ。大丈夫だ。
Well, we have a new member of our team, if not our
私
party,
たち
maybe.
冒
I'm
険
not
者
sure.
としては不慣れだし、ここから仲良くしていきましょう。
Isla taking the initiative as usual.
俺は慣れ合うために来たんじゃねえ。
I apologize, Rootger. You will be making friends regardless of whether or not you want to.
ルトが何度も言わせるなよ。
わかったわかったよ。こいつらのおもりをしろって話だろ。
You most certainly are not.
アイラ、落ち着いて。
だってさ、
団長、その
Seems that Isla might be next up in line. Give him
昔から言ってきたんだが。
thorough walloping.
この口の悪さだけは治らんな。
アイ イラ仲良くね。
絶対無理。
Ah, he is in the party. Okay.
おい、錬金術師。
Not her
ユ
name,
ミ
but
ヤです。
anyway.
名前くらいは覚えてほしいんだけど。
なんでもいいだろう。
Shit.
それより見せてくれよ。錬金術ってやつを。
Well, I suppose I was talking about making new gear.
まあ錬金術を見せるの
You
も
might be
構わ
making
ない
new
け
gear
ど。
for Rutger.
一緒に行動するなら最低限のことは知っとくべきだろ。
おー、そのあたりはちゃんとしてるんだ。一応経験豊富な冒険者ってとこか。それにしても錬金術を怖がらない。
He is a bit of a
やっぱ
strange
り
one.
変な人。
I wouldn't say that him not being afraid of alchemy is the strangest part
そこ
about
で
him
錬金
so
術を
far,
見せる
but
から。
maybe not strange per se, but he's definitely not the usual. Yes, 3 party members can join combat in the front row as attackers, and the remaining party members will join in the back row. You can change the way party members are arranged at the start of battle by going to Party on the main menu. During combat, you can press and hold right trigger to swap the character you're controlling with a character in the back row. Once you do so, however, you'll be unable to do the same for other characters for a short time. Make sure to time your swaps strategically. Trait blending. When blending from the list, you can see a list of traits that can be blended with the trait crystals you have in your possession. Selecting a trait crystal from the list will automatically select the trait crystals that will act as ingredients. This makes it possible to perform trait blending without selected ingredients. So yeah, so this would
ちょっと疲れたな。
yes. This I assume that this is what we learned from the memory vial then.
はあ、変なことになっちまったな。
所詮組織所属の人間だし諦めてよ。
A man called Rutger.
ってなんでお前が同情してくるんだよ。
まあ私も相当変なことになった方だし。そんなことよりほらアトリエに行くよ。また採取できるように
Alright.
取るときは根を残すよう
So
に
yes.
しないと。
So, Rutger joins the group pose. Nice. Let's see what Rutger's whole thing is. So he's got a scythe. It has apparently been altered in some fashion. Yes, Bloody Heart and Vampire Eyes. Seems he's got quite a theme going for him. Yes. Deals physical damage to a single enemy, consumes HP on activation. Deals physical damage to a single enemy, restores HP in proportion to damage dealt. Okay. So it seems that with Rutger, you're using your health as a resource, but you also have the means to recover it. Then, at range, he has Revenger, deals physical damage to a single enemy. Damage is increased the lower your HP is. And deals physical damage to a single enemy. Damage is increased in proportion to the target's wound stat count. Interesting. Raid Leader. Oh, he has a passive skill. I think we've seen... Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've seen these get unlocked before, but I didn't know where to look for them. Okay. This is an interesting passive. It doesn't tell me what Mana Flow does. Yes, damage dealt by items is increased. Stores your own HP and boosts attack when enemy is stunned. Ignore any stun resistances and reduces stun symbols. Yes, we've already gone over piles. Raid Leader. Inflicts wounds on target in proportion to the amount of HP consumed when using skills that consume HP. Okay. So yeah, Rutger seems interesting. I think we'll swap him in place of Victor for now. Whoops. Where do we... Right, under battle. Or no, was it strategy? Yeah, strategy, I think. Alright, so. Oops. So, Rutger, we want to swap. Change, there we are. Oop. Ah, okay. So we can swap them between... Oh, okay. We can choose what ring that they start in and whether they start out with skills or with items, which is interesting. Anyway. Rutger. We came here to put Rutger in the team, so we're going to put Rutger in the team. Alright. I think, yeah, we'll have him be our starter because I want to play him. And I suppose we'll put Victor in the back here. Alright, anyway. I wonder if we can see some more Rutger. I don't know. It doesn't look like there's anything else we can do to get him into another group pose. Anyway, so alchemy. We do have an ad coming up. We are getting pretty close to time. I don't know. I suppose we will close it off for now. I'll snooze the ad so we don't have it going through the outro. But yeah, again, we will pick up on all of this once we we will pick up on this once we get it. Pick up on this once we get back tomorrow. There we go. Anyway, so we are done now. So yes, so if anyone has any raid target suggestions, please feel free to suggest them. If not, I can find a target on my own. Then one way or the other, we will go over the business. So yes, so again, today has been Atelier Yumia, if you hadn't noticed. Yes, tomorrow will be more Atelier Yumia. We'll learn a little bit more about Rutger and what his deal is. And, let's see. Atelier... yeah, okay. Yeah, Saturday, you should be seeing some more Arknights. Yeah, again, Friday is likely to be delayed. I would like to say that it will be at 9, but it could. It seems a little bit unlikely that it will be then, but we'll see. But yes. Friday, yes, okay. Let's just say 9:30 for now, and we'll play it by ear as things happen. And then for the Saturday stream, that should be at 8:30. Again, I am doing things on Saturday as well, but I don't know that I will necessarily... Again, most of the things I'm doing are going to be happening pretty early in the day, so I don't anticipate any particular delays. It seems unlikely at the very least. But yes. So, with that all said, I'm not seeing any raid suggestions. So, tonight, I think we're going to go and visit Luminous Lee, who is playing some Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon. Yeah, I wonder, is that going to be the DS remake? Yes it is. Yeah, anyway, so that is, yeah, again, the DS remake is perhaps not the most specific description, but it is the DS remake specifically of the first Fire Emblem game. But yes. Anyway, so we've seen Lumi play some Fire Emblem: The Sacred Stones at various points. Yeah, I believe that she's beaten it at this point. I know we've seen her when she's gotten pretty far into the game before. At the very least, I have, I suppose. But yes, I still haven't beaten that game after all these years, so I didn't stick around for the ending, but I didn't stick around to watch the latter parts of Lumi's playthrough. But anyway, Lumi is a knight VTuber, again playing some Fire Emblem. Do I have that spelled correctly? Yes, I do. I always feel like I'm never putting in quite the right number of I's in the name there. But anyway, so the customary raid message is, as always, we have arrived. And so, thank you all for being here tonight. I hope you have had a fine night. I hope that you will continue to have a fine night every night. and I hope that you will be well until the next time I see you. Thank you all very much, and farewell. Let us get this raid underway.